Be sure and like and subscribe and follow, and if you have any comments, comment in the comment section below after this video is done playing. Welcome back to another installment of the Tri-State Cold Cases. I'm your host, Brian Sumner, obviously, and I want to thank you guys for the feedback and the responses that I got on the last episode, where we actually talked about all these different disappearances and the origins, hopefully where they came from. We're going to dig deep into it this week because apparently you guys are really excited about this topic, and so here we are. We're giving another installment on it. This week we're going to talk about all the crazy disappearances that have just happened recently, but you can't talk about those disappearances that have happened as of late without talking about the history of Henderson County, because there's been a lot of crazy disappearances, missing persons, and not to mention cold cases, homicide cold cases that are unexplainable. It's just crazy how many that we've seen throughout the years. And there are police reports to back it up, but there are also police reports that have been hidden, and I've uncovered all of them. On the last video, we talked about the Killiecrankie family, the Western Kentucky Rehabilitation and Sanatorium that was established back in the 30s. What we didn't talk about was, ever since then, the crazy escalation of disappearances in just this county alone. It will boggle your mind. It's crazy the number of people that have disappeared, but also the number of people that are related to the asylum and the sanatorium that have gone missing. Also, not to mention the fact that the amount of homicides that were discovered in this county alone that were also related back to that asylum. It's just crazy to me to think that throughout all the years, all the decades in this county, so many disappearances, so many homicides that are just not explained. We have no answers for any of them. And if you press the police officers on this and you talk to the sheriff's department, they have no answers for you. If you go to City Hall, they have no answers for you either. It's just crazy, and it almost feels like there's this dark, secret mystery that's being hidden deep inside here in Henderson, Kentucky. Now, we talked about on the last video the asylum itself and the people that used to work there, that used to be a part of it, and how they just mysteriously vanished. They disappeared. We don't know why. We don't know what happened to those people. There are no reports on those people. But what we do know is ever since then, ever since the asylum was shut down in 62, 63, we have seen an incline. We have seen the numbers go up. We've seen abductions occur that just cannot be explained, have no rationality to them whatsoever. Usually when a crime is committed, there is some kind of motive behind it. These abductions have no motives. And in fact, if you talk to the police, they can't find any causality to any of these. None of them are connected. They seemingly unconnected. But what you're going to understand and find out the more we dive into the story is how everything is kind of connected. Everything seemingly on the surface is connected. But what's under the surface is what I'm more concerned about. Why are these abductions happening? Why are these disappearances occurring? And more importantly, why are these homicides happening at a very escalated rate? We need answers from this. We need answers from the police and the local authorities, because they are not giving us any at this point. The earliest reported incidents of disappearances in this county date all the way back to somewhere around 63, 64. Don't have an exact year. Haven't been able to pinpoint a paper trail on that, but you talk to many residents in this county, there are several people from that time that disappeared and vanished right off the map. No explanations, no one understands why. So fast forward to the 1970s, you see that uptick. You see a rash of all kinds of missing persons. Unexplainable, completely unexplainable. We have no real reasons for why these people were gone. They were just gone. No details as to where they went to, no forwarding addresses, no phone calls to anyone. Family members just kind of left in the wind trying to figure out, and with no answers whatsoever. And the police are no help on this at all. 1973, we saw a janitor who actually works at the local high school. He went missing. His family had no idea what happened to him, and he's never been recovered, never been heard from ever again. We saw the same thing happen in 1974 to a nice couple that lived over on the north side of Henderson near the hospital. They just up and vanished. Their house looked like it hadn't been touched. No burglaries, no break-ins, no sign of foul play, nothing, just gone. We've also seen throughout the 1980s a huge uptick of missing persons that may or may not be related to this area, but the fact of the matter is these missing persons from other areas were from mental health facilities. And I bring that up because it's a very important detail to remember that Tranquil Meadows Health, which was shut down in the early 2000s, just out of nowhere. There was no explanation for it. It just shut down. But what the interesting note of that is the fact that when it shut down, all the patients and all the doctors were gone. No one knows where they went to. No one knows what happened to them. It's a mystery. And it's doubly important when I bring this up because who were the doctors at Tranquil Meadows Health? The Killiecrankie family. That were also the ones who opened the asylum back in the 30s. I'm trying to connect some dots here, and I think you guys are following along with me, and you're seeing the pattern here. Something with that name, the Killiecrankie name, and that line of work in the health field, psychiatric health, dealing with crazy patients. Let's just say what they are. They're crazy patients. They're on the fringe, and they need help. But I'm not so sure that they're getting the help that they needed. But it all depends on whether or not you guys are interested in this topic. You carried over from the last video to this video. Let's see if we can keep this topic going. If you show some interest, I want you to comment below right now on this topic, on this video. If you like and share and follow me and we get enough numbers, we'll come back and we'll dive even more into this because I have a feeling there's a lot more that's right there underneath the surface. Thanks again for tuning in to another edition of the Tri-State Cold Cases. I'm Brian Sumner and we'll see you on the next video.